In 1995, a young German driver was speeding around a track at over 200 miles per hour when his steering column snapped. Now, for most of us, if our steering wheel came off while driving to the grocery store, we'd probably just accept our fate and start praying. But Michael Schumacher? He didn't just survive. He spent the next decade becoming the most dominant force in the history of motorsports. We are talking about a man who redefined what it means to be an athlete. Most people see Formula One and think it's just guys sitting in expensive cars turning left and right. But Michael Schumacher proved it was a game of chess played at Mach speed. He wasn't just a driver, he was a scientist, a marathon runner, and a leader who dragged a struggling Ferrari team from the depths of mediocrity to 5 consecutive world championships. Today, I want to talk to you about how a kid from a small town with no money became the Red Baron. We're going to look at why his discipline, his refusal to accept good enough, and his sheer courage are the exact blueprints you need for whatever track you're racing on in your own lives. Michael didn't grow up with a silver spoon. He grew up with a wrench in his hand. His father, Rolf, managed a local go-kart track. Because they couldn't afford new parts, Michael used to scavenge discarded tires from the trash of other racers. He would put the garbage tires on his cart, and, here's the kicker, he would still beat the kids whose parents had bought them the best gear. That's lesson number 1 for all of us. It's not about the gear, it's about the grind. When Michael hit the Formula One scene in 1991, he was an outsider. He wasn't part of the cool kids club. But he had a superpower. He was obsessed. While other drivers were out partying in Monaco after a race, Michael was back in the garage with the mechanics, asking why a specific bolt was vibrating at the 54th lap. He took a massive risk in 1996. He left Benetton, where he was already a double world champion, to join Ferrari. At the time, Ferrari was a mess. Their cars were unreliable, and they hadn't won a title in 17 years. It's like leaving a championship-winning team to go play for the worst team in the league because you believe you can build something better. It took him 4 years of failure and heartbreak before he finally won with them in 2000. But once he started winning, he didn't stop for half a decade. Persistence isn't just about trying hard. It's about how you handle the moments when everything goes wrong. In 1999, Michael crashed at the British Grand Prix and broke his leg. For many, that's a career ender. For Michael, it was a data point. He treated his rehab with the same intensity he treated a qualifying lap. He came back stronger, faster, and more focused than before. He once said, "I've always believed that you should never, ever give up. And you should always keep fighting even when there's only a slightest chance." In your life, you're going to hit walls. You're going to break a leg metaphorically. Maybe you fail an exam, lose a job, or get rejected. Michael's life teaches us that the crash isn't the end of the story. It's just the pit stop before the final lap. How do you stay motivated when you've already won everything? Michael's secret was that he never raced against the other drivers. He raced against perfection. He was his own toughest critic. He lived by this philosophy. You win a race, the next race is a question mark. Are you still the best or not? This is a vital lesson for us. Success is rented, not owned, and the rent is due every single day. Michael didn't wake up thinking, "I'm the greatest." He woke up thinking, "How can I be 0.1 seconds faster today than I was yesterday?" Let's talk about his human moments and his discipline. Michael was famous for his fitness. Back in the 90s, F1 drivers were fit, but Michael was an alien. He would finish a 2-hour race in 100-degree heat, hop out of the car, and looked like he'd just taken a light stroll. He used to have a customized gym trailer that followed him to every race. While other drivers were eating pasta and relaxing, Michael was measuring his heart rate and calculating his caloric intake. He once joked that he liked to play soccer because it was the only time he could run around without a helmet on, even though his friendly soccer games were known to be just as competitive as a Grand Prix. He showed us that once something is a passion, the motivation is there. If you love what you do, the work doesn't feel like a chore. The discipline becomes a habit. To really understand Michael, we have to look at his words. Here are a few more gems he left for us. Only those who know how it feels to be defeated can reach the bottom of their heart and come up with the extra ounce of power it takes to win when the match is even. What this means: failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the fuel for it. Don't fear losing. Use the sting of it to push harder next time. I just want to be known as a very normal person and be treated as that. What this means: despite being a global superstar, Michael valued humility. He knew that your achievements don't make you better than anyone else. They just give you a bigger platform to do good. The more you work, the more you see where you can improve. What this means: skill is a bottomless pit. The better you get, the more you realize how much more there is to learn. Stay a student forever. Everything I have achieved is because I have a great team behind me. What this means: no one wins alone. Michael knew every mechanic, every tire changer, and every cook at Ferrari by name. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Did you know that Michael was so obsessed with driving that even on his off days, he would often go to local kart tracks under a fake name just so he could race strangers for fun? Imagine being a teenager at a local track and getting absolutely smoked by some guy named Mick, who turns out to be a 7-time world champion. He loved the craft more than the fame. As you leave here today, I want you to remember that Michael Schumacher wasn't a legend because he had the fastest car. He was a legend because he had the strongest will. Life is going to throw curves at you. You're going to spin out. You might even hit the barriers. But like Michael, you have the power to stay in the cockpit, keep your eyes on the horizon, and push the pedal down. Success isn't about never crashing. It's about how fast you get back on the track. Michael showed us that with enough discipline, a dash of courage, and a refusal to quit, a kid with trash heap tires can eventually change the world. So, what's your Grand Prix? What's the one thing you're willing to work for until your hands ache and your mind is tired? Find that thing and drive toward it like Michael did, with everything you've got.